Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Day to Day, the podcast where we explore the joys and challenges of everyday life. I'm Emma. And I'm Alex. Whether it's personal growth, navigating relationships, or just tackling the chaos of the day, we're here to talk about it all and, hopefully, help you along the way. So grab your coffee, tea, or whatever keeps you going. And let's dive into today's episode. So, today's topic is something I think we can all relate to. Whether we're aware of it or not, it's called defensive listening. Ever heard of it? Oh yes. Defensive listening. It's like, when someone talks to you and instead of genuinely listening, you're on high alert, ready to defend yourself, right? Exactly. It's a kind of self-protection mode where you're listening just to find any potential attacks or criticisms in what the other person is saying. It's actually kind of funny. It's like being a detective looking for clues in what someone's saying, even if they didn't mean any harm in the first place. Yes, totally. But here's the kicker: while we think we're protecting ourselves, we might actually be warping the communication. It's a bit like being so focused on the noise of potential criticism that we miss the actual music of the conversation. That's such a great way to put it. And it makes it hard to communicate because you're not just listening to understand, you're looking to rebut, which can escalate things pretty quickly. Yeah, it's a vicious cycle, isn't it? Both parties start building up defenses, and the conversation just spirals into an endless loop of misinterpretation and counterattacks. Right. And what's really wild is how sneaky this defensive listening can be. People often don't realize they're doing it until the relationship is already in a bit of a rut. Absolutely. It's especially common when a relationship hits a rough patch. Frequent arguments, misunderstandings. Both sides start to question each other's intentions more acutely. Makes sense. So, what are the telltale signs that you're stuck in this defensive mode? Well, if you find yourself constantly thinking things like, "That's not true," or "How dare they say that about me," it might be time to rethink how you're listening. Oh, also if you're anticipating the next rebuttal in your head while the other person is still talking. Guilty as charged here sometimes. Hey, we've all been there. The trick is being aware of it. And something interesting: defensive listeners can sometimes misconstrue friendly advice as personal attacks, which can be pretty damaging. That's true. It's like, instead of recognizing concern or care, you filter everything as criticism, which is kinda sad because it blocks actual connection. Exactly. It's like carrying around an invisible shield that you think protects you, but really just turns you into an island. Okay, so let's talk solutions. How can we keep ourselves from falling into this defensive trap? Well, a good start is to notice those defensive signals in yourself. Pause for a moment when you feel the urge to defend. Try to actually hear what the other person is saying before you react. And maybe, instead of jumping to conclusions, you can ask for clarification. Like, "When you said that, did you mean?" It opens the floor to a more genuine conversation. Absolutely. And it's crucial to remind ourselves that listening isn't just about finding flaws or preparing counterarguments, it's about understanding. Coexisting in each other's perspectives without judgment. And for those times when it gets really tough, maybe it's okay to just take a breather. Walk away if you're too heated, and come back to the discussion when you're calmer. That's great advice. Sometimes just letting the dust settle can reveal how insignificant the issue was in the first place. Yeah, the ultimate goal is breaking down those language barriers and really hearing each other, right? Instead of building higher walls, find ways to bridge the gap. Perfectly said. It's about stepping out from behind that shield and into the open, ready to connect rather than defend. And that's a powerful step towards stronger relationships. I love that. Well, that's all we have time for today. Remember everyone, communication is key to better understanding and building trust. Exactly. Let's all try to put down those shields and really listen to each other. Until next time, take care and happy communicating.